Central on CBS.
Like and follow News 1226 on Facebook for the latest up-to-date coverage near you.
On your side, this is News 12 First at 5.
Bond hearings today in two different cases. One man charged with killing a code enforcement officer, the other charged with hitting a deputy with his car. We'll have the latest from both hearings.
But first, Georgia's governor reminding everyone there's more to worry about this Labor Day weekend than just congested roads.
Governor Brian Kemp making stops all around the state today, including Augusta, to remind Georgians to be careful over the holiday weekend. News 12 Sydney Heiberger was there.
Traffic on I-20 free-flowing right now, but of course, in the middle of a pandemic, during a holiday weekend, there's no telling what the roads could look like. While AAA says they've seen an increase in interest for last-minute Labor Day weekend travel, Governor Brian Kemp says he hopes people learned their lesson from previous holiday weekends. He says positive cases, hospitalizations, and deaths after July 4th and Memorial Day weekend spiked. But he hopes now that kids are back in school and families are more educated about how the virus can spike, he hopes people will be more cautious and practice safe social distancing and mask wearing.
The progress that we made can be erased very quickly if we grow complacent or ignore the guidance and public safety health measures. I will say that we have come way too far and sacrificed too much to turn back now.
In the event there is a big spike after the holiday weekend, the governor says the state plans to implement the same surge plan it's had for months, like reopening the World Congress Center to COVID patients. Now, of course, on Memorial Day weekend and July 4th, we did see pretty busy roads and even busier beaches. Tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, how the governor thinks Labor Day weekend will stack up. In Augusta, Sydney Heiberger on your side.
And whether you're heading to the beach or the lake, everybody's hoping for a nice weekend to get outside. Riley, how's it looking?
Looking great this weekend, Richard. We are finally going to see a break from the really hot conditions. Not telling you it's going to feel like fall by any means. It's just going to be more seasonal. So highs near 90 instead of 97, which I think everybody will enjoy that. But another beautiful afternoon, blue skies. We have a few more clouds out there than what we've seen the past few days, but not expecting rain. If you have plans to step out this evening, we will stay rain-free. We're currently at 94. The heat index, hey, 99. We're less than 100. We are making those improvements gradually but surely. Our temperatures across the region generally mid to low 90s across the board. Looks like actually up at the lake, the warmest spot out there this afternoon. Any plans this evening? Drive should be comfortable. We'll take a look at that Labor Day weekend in just a little bit.
Thanks, Riley. Just into the newsroom, officers are looking for a man wanted for a felony DUI that led to a death. North Augusta Public Safety says there are felony warrants for this man, Danny Martin. Martin has felony warrants from South Carolina Highway Patrol and the Aiken County Sheriff's Department. Officers say he is considered a violent felon and should not be approached if seen. If you do see him, you're asked to contact North Augusta Public Safety or the Aiken County Sheriff's Department.
Also new this afternoon, a victim identified after a fight turns deadly at an Augusta apartment complex. The Richmond County coroner says Kelly Bush was found dead at Fayetteville Drive in the Azalea Park apartments. The deputies were dispatched just before 11 to reports of a fight there. The victim unresponsive when they got there and was pronounced dead at the scene. The coroner's office is calling the death suspicious.
Bond hearings today for two cases we've been following. One for the suspect charged with killing a Richmond County code enforcement officer. The other for the man charged with hitting a Richmond County deputy during a traffic stop.
First up, the bond hearing for Smitty Melton, who's charged with shooting officer Charles Case. He was denied bond at the virtual hearing this morning. In court, the district attorney said Melton had a history of run-ins with code enforcement, including a previous attack on an officer. Melton's lawyer claims Melton has an alibi. His lawyer says he was visiting someone in Aiken before that shooting happened.
Also in court, the man charged with hitting a Richmond County deputy with his car and sending him to the hospital. Kalen Smith was denied bond today. Smith is being charged with aggravated assault after the sheriff's office says he drove off during a traffic stop and dragged Deputy Keith Inman with his car. The district attorney says the deputy was trapped in between the door and the car when Smith took off. He was also dragged along the pavement and then hit a traffic pole.
She also says Deputy Inman suffered facial fractures and broken ribs, among other injuries, and says he is still under sedation.
The The man accused of shooting and killing a protester in Portland is now dead after law enforcement tried to arrest him. Officials say Michael Reinell was shot and killed by police as they closed in on his apartment on Washington. Police believe he shot and killed a Portland protester this past weekend during a scuffle between protesters and a pro-Trump caravan. In an interview with Vice News that was released just last night, Reinell said he shot the protester in self-defense.
In New York, protesters arrested last night and early this morning over the death of a black man in police custody. At least 9 protesters in Rochester arrested after things turned violent there. Demonstration started after the Rochester's mayor announced 7 police officers were fired for the death of Daniel Prude. He was being arrested. He died nearly 5 months ago, but the body cam video of the arrest is drawing new attention to the case. New York's Attorney General's office is investigating.
Gas prices this Labor Day weekend are set to be the lowest since 2004. That could lead to more people traveling than expected, including to Georgia's coast. Savannah leaders say they're preparing for an influx of regional travelers rather than travelers flying in. Officials in the Savannah area are reporting an overall decrease in new COVID cases, but they say a spike is possible if visitors don't follow precautions.
If you don't take these precautions, then we are likely to see a spike. That's what we saw the last time that we had Memorial Day, but that was before a number of things really became kind of quite normal and accepted practices.
Hilton Head Island says it expects to be at almost maximum capacity this weekend.
Some good news for the economy. The U.S. Labor Department added about 1.3 million jobs last month. That's within expectations, but down from last month, where the U.S. added 1.8 million jobs. About a quarter of those jobs added came from the government hiring census workers. Last month, the national unemployment rate was 8.4%. Well, as students begin heading back to the classrooms across South Carolina, state health officials say there are 158 COVID-19 cases associated with South Carolina schools.
DHEC says they'll be updating these numbers twice a week. They say right now there are 89 reported cases among students in South Carolina and 69 cases among school employees. And for a closer breakdown in our schools, there are 6 student cases at Jefferson Davis Academy in Barnwell School District 19. There are cases at Carver Edisto Middle in Orangeburg County District 4. There are also cases in the Aiken County School District, but we told you about those yesterday. Taking a look at COVID cases statewide, Georgia's health department reporting more than 2,000 new COVID cases today. 63 more people have died. In South Carolina, DHEC reporting more than 1,500 new cases. 37 more people have died there.
And checking the numbers at our local hospitals, AU Health reporting over 100 new cases today. There are 50 COVID patients being treated at the hospital right now. Doctors Hospital reporting 2 more cases today and 41 inpatients. University Hospital reporting 5 new positive cases, and they still have 46 inpatients. The Charlie Norwood VA reporting the same number of total positive cases as well. Organizers are talking about what kind of precautions are coming ahead of the rescheduled Summer Olympics during a 2015 mission in Iraq. On social media, Governor McMaster said pain embodies the spirit of military service.
Facebook is warning users to be cautious of what they're sharing. Other countries are already using the platform to interfere with November elections. We'll tell you what to look out for.
Winds out of the west letting us know that a cold front is heading our way. We'll let you know what that front does to our weekend forecast next.
16th on CBS.
A warning today from Facebook that Russians are already trying to interfere in the upcoming presidential election, and you may be accidentally helping them.
Jamie Tucker takes a closer look at how Russian operatives are using your Facebook friends to influence who wins in November.
And we heard about this 4 years ago, the Russians interfering in our presidential election. Well, Facebook and Twitter say the Russians are at it again. But how does this work? Well, I spoke with a cybersecurity expert, Joseph Steinberg, who tells me it has nothing to do with voter fraud, and some of your Facebook friends may be involved.
The Russians are masters of putting out information that's false, that looks like it's real, looks like it's coming from American sources, and people don't understand, hey, this isn't a newspaper, this is a Russian propaganda.
This is one such site pointed out by Facebook and Twitter, peacedata.net. Now, Facebook says it was launched by the Russian Internet Research Agency, which is backed by the Kremlin, the same organization that was found to have reached millions of Americans through social media 4 years ago.
There was a story last election cycle that the Pope endorsed Donald Trump. Obviously, it sounds ridiculous, but somehow it did go quasi-viral.
Now, Facebook has deleted the Peace Data Facebook page, but the people behind denied piece data posted to its website that all the claims are false. Steinberg says it's nearly impossible to stop it with an algorithm.
But in the end, there is no way to filter 100% of everything that could be potentially problematic. So people should still use, I would say due diligence, but it's almost just common sense.
Facebook says it turned over its information to the FBI to investigate. PeaceData.net says on its website that the claims are false, but another investigation found many of the writers on the website had fake names and used profile photos stolen from the internet.
Okay, common sense on social media. Got it. Let's have a look outside in Aiken and live look there. It's a nice looking afternoon as we head into a long holiday weekend, Riley.
Hey, beautiful day out there, Richard. You can see our camera shaking a little bit. Winds are sustained anywhere from around 8 to 12 miles an hour this afternoon. Not necessarily all too breezy, just a little bit more than average. Our heat index still pretty nasty out there, above 100 in most locations. Actually, up at the lake, they're the hottest. 112 is what it currently feels like out at Clarks Hill. But the lake this weekend will be the place to be. They're expecting high temperatures generally in the mid to upper 80s both Saturday and Sunday. For us here in Augusta, we'll likely hit at least 91 tomorrow, so we're definitely not expecting highs in the 70s or for it to feel like November by any means. This cold front is just going to knock us back down closer to average. Now, by Sunday into Monday, you will start to feel a little bit better air out there. That's when some drier air starts to work its way in and brings down that humidity. But overall, not tracking much in the way of showers or storms Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So if you do have outdoor plans this weekend, looking good for you. Normally when we're tracking a cold front, we're talking about storms, at least some showers, but this is going to be a dry frontal passage for us. But it is bringing us some slightly breezy conditions out there this afternoon. No rain on the radar across the two-state, and we are expecting to stay dry this evening into tonight. If you have any plans this evening, we'll start to see that cloud cover move in as that front gets closer towards us, but just not expecting much in the way of rainfall. Tomorrow morning, not going to notice a huge difference either. Our temperatures staying in the mid to upper 70s overnight. But watch what happens as we head into Saturday afternoon. That's when we finally start to feel more normal, more like September for us. If you have plans at the lake, you're expecting to stay in the upper 80s north of I-20. If you're south of Augusta, you're going to have still to battle some warmer and more humid air, expecting at least low 90s if you live in Millen, Swainsboro, Screven County, other places in the southern CSRA. In our southern counties, that's where the rain chance that you're going to see in the 7-day forecast is going to come from. That 20% chance of rain on Saturday is for areas south of Augusta. That's going to be a little bit closer towards that cold front where they have a little bit better ingredients to produce some showers. But overall, one tiny little shower here on our projected model. So not expecting a whole lot, just maybe one or two communities to get a quick little downpour. Heading into Sunday morning, this is even better news. I mentioned the drier air moving in on Sunday. Take a look at what that does to our lows up north. Mid to low 60s, possibly up in Saluda, Edgefield County. For us here in Augusta, we'll likely stay close to 70. Keep your fingers crossed. We may be able to hit the upper 60s Sunday morning. Later next week, it looks like a slightly higher chance for storms, but highs staying near average.
Riley, thanks. He's an IT professional getting creative with how he applies for his next job, making the most of his delivery services.
I'm Jamie Harrison, and
I imagine there's a woman inside each of us. One without the doubts of self-expression. One with the confidence to seize the day. One who isn't afraid to fall in love. She is beautiful the way she is. And her jewelry from Windsor is just a reminder.
When it's time for...
No, too. With more COVID relief currently tied up in Congress, a lot of people suffering through unemployment are trying to find ways to stay afloat.
And help can't come soon enough, especially for one laid-off father who turned to food delivery to make ends meet. As Eddie Chang reports, he's come up with a creative way to get his resume out there.
absolutely take care.
Every night from about 4 to 9, you can find Nick Lewick making food deliveries around Orange County.
Colgate's right around the corner here.
With each delivery, he includes a personal message, one he hopes will land him a full-time job.
I've printed up my resume to this point, and I've included a small little letter. It basically just reads, My name, I'm an IT professional. I was impacted by the pandemic and really looking for employment opportunities.
Lewick, an Irvine father of two, was recently laid off due to the pandemic, he says, after 15 years in IT. He is among California's nearly 15% unemployment rate, and he says time is running out.
My federal and state unemployment benefits ran out, and so when you have a wife and 2 kids to support, it's like, what do you do as a father?
Lewick is meeting 20-year-old Taylor Lewis for the first time. She's a customer who thought to post on social media the resume attached to her food delivery. The post, well, got plenty of bites.
There's been a lot of people giving advice on where to look for the IT kind of job that he was looking for. And then his great resume.
Lewick says he hopes a future employer will appreciate his thinking outside the box. And he's grateful for Lewis, who thought to help.
The 5 minutes she took to do something on my behalf has yielded a lot more than I could say in as many months.
I'm just glad that I could help them just get the word out there. That is a smart idea. I'm sure he already has multiple interviews lined up just from doing that.
I hope so. That is the positive power of social media right there. And yeah, we wish him well. Riley.
Hey, if anybody has any plans to hit the links tomorrow, winds should be a little bit breezier than usual in the morning, but not overall breezy. Should stay dry as well. We'll have to look at that full 7-day just after the break.
The other guy's insurance company.
Here's a look at your community calendar. The Augusta Green Jackets is partnering up to invite guests to enjoy a movie on the field. This is tomorrow night at SRP Park. It's going to be from 6 to 10 p.m. Guests can view the movie on the state-of-the-art video board while relaxing on the field. Blankets and pillows are encouraged for seating, but unfortunately you cannot bring chairs. Concessions will be available, and tickets can be purchased on greenjacketsbaseball.com, so you can find a lot more info there. It should be fantastic weather this weekend, especially here in Augusta. Saturday, we're expecting to be cooler in the afternoon. Our high temperature is generally in the 90s. So if you do have to possibly getting any of those yard chores done, we're expecting to stay close to 90, so a lot better than the 97 we've been at the past few days. And it's not expected to be as humid for us, and very low rain chances here in Augusta throughout your Saturday. So a great day to get out in the yard, do some chores out there. If you're heading to the lake instead, the lake is actually going to be the best place to be this weekend. They're going to be the furthest north, so they're going to enjoy the driest and coolest air. Now, upper 80s not necessarily cool, just cooler than where we've been this week. Storm chances low on Sunday up at the lake, just not technically zero. I wouldn't cancel any plans you have up at the lake for your Sunday. Our current heat index this afternoon, this should be the last day, folks, where we're just seeing 100 to 105 on the heat index. And actually up at the lake right now, feeling like 108. So relief is on the way. By the time we get to tomorrow, it's going to feel better for us. As we head into next week, highs remaining in the upper 80s.
Riley, thanks. Today marks a month since that massive explosion killed nearly 200 people, injuring more in Beirut. Are there still survivors somehow beneath the rubble? That story and more after a quick break.
Every morning all over